Lately I've been making a lot of bottoms and dresses, so it's time for tops. And because my overlock is working fine for now, I took advantage and bought some t-shirt material, some knit in a lovely pastel green. And I think it's going to be really good because I want to make a t-shirt, but not a normal t-shirt, but with very big sleeves, so it has something different, something extra. And of course I'm going to be using my bodice block and my sleeve block. And if you don't have your blocks made, you can even trace it from a t-shirt that fits you really well. When I did my bodice block, I left a mark where I wanted my darts, in case I wanted to add darts to any garment. But I went on the sides straight. I went down straight. So now, because I want an hourglass figure, so the t-shirt doesn't look loose on the waist, I'm going to take in my measurement, my waistline measurement, so I can adjust it. And I'll be taking the shoulders in as well, because this one goes all the way out to the shoulder, and I don't want this shape coming out of here, because I think it will look really big and a bit weird. So I want to take it in so it takes the shoulder shape. One thing I want to add to the sleeves is some cuffs to hem them, and the rest, the neckline and the bottom hem, will be with a double hem, but not to the inside but to the outside. We'll see in a minute. After tracing and cutting our pattern, we're going to sew together the bodice by the shoulders and the sides. We're going to gather the top of the sleeves so we can put them together and sew them to the t-shirt. And for the cuffs, we're going to need 2 rectangles of material that we're going to sew together and fold so we can sew to the bottom of the sleeves. So we can then finish the neckline and hem it. I have 1 meter of material for this project and it cost me €10.50 a meter. The bodice block only goes down to my waistline, and of course I want it a bit longer. So I'm going to give it at least 18, I think, I don't know if 20 centimeters more, so it gets a bit down. Yes, 18 centimeters will be okay with the hem and everything. For the shoulder, what I did is that I took in 2 centimeters, and then when I went up through the middle of the armhole, I went up to the new point, not to the old one. And the same with the waistline. I went in the centimeters I wanted it to be, and then I went out again to the same measurement I had on my block, which is the hip measurement. And one thing I always like doing is to soften the bottom corners, because if not, you'll end up with this square look and you want it a bit more natural. And now with the back block, I'm going to do the same I did with the front one, getting in on the waist and getting out again at the bottom, and that'll be it. Anyways, if you don't have an overlock, you can still do it with your normal machine with a zigzag stitch, or even a fake overlock foot. If you happen to have one, I'll leave you a link in the description to a video I did last year with this foot. To trace my sleeves, I'm going to fold the rest of my material. I'm still on the grain, and because I think it's a knit and I'm going to gather the top, I don't think it's necessary to trace the sleeve on a tissue paper. Tell me what you think. If you want to do it properly, you will have to trace your block on a tissue paper, cut it so you can space it out and trace the new sleeve. But I think it won't be necessary because it's just a knit, but let me know anyways. And to the sleeve I'm going to add at least 3 centimeters on top and then almost 10 to the side. It's going to be quite big, but not at the bottom. I'm not going to get either to the size of the block, to the original block, but I'm only going to add 3 centimeters on each side. I have my overlock already threaded in green, so let's see how it goes. Let's cross all the fingers we have. So the overlock behaved, or has behaved for now, and this is how the t-shirt is looking. And one thing I'm going to do now is to gather the top of the sleeve. Because it's a huge sleeve, what I'm going to do is, with the sleeve folded in half, I'm going to go and gather from halfway to the top. I'll gather it with the normal machine. I'm going to sew a long stitch twice, 2 rows, and then pull from the top ones. And once the top of the sleeve is gathered, I can now put it together by sewing that seam. And I can now add it to the t-shirt, making sure which side is which. I'm going to add it with the t-shirt inside out and the sleeves right sides out, but being careful about the sides. I want to finish the hem and the neckline with the overlock as well, and I'm going to do a double hem, but not folding twice in the same direction, but folding twice up and then down, so that way when we sew it together and we put it right sides out, it's perfectly sewn. And to finish the sleeve, I want to make some cuffs, and what I'm going to do is, with the rest of the material I have, I'm going to cut 2 rectangles of material of 10 centimeters wide and 25 centimeters long, which is my arm contour. I'm going to sew it together. Then fold and add to the sleeve. And this will be my little cuffs, so it's finished. I love how big the sleeves are. I think it's one of these things that you have to go for it full extent. I mean, if you don't do it like this, it will look weird, like it's big, but it's not as big as it should be. So I think I went all the way. And I love the color with this skirt. I think it looks cute. And of course I made another two. I made this one. Woo! This is the first one I made, and it was when I realized that the sleeves needed to be more bigger and wilder. So that's when I decided to change the pattern and to fix it. It's also a bit big, and then when I did the second one, I made it a little bit tighter, which is this lovely blue one. The blue one was the second one I did, and it was when I realized that the sleeves needed more volume. So I went ahead and made them like this. The only problem I had is that my cuffs are a bit big. Don't know what I did wrong. I measured wrong or something, and they look a bit big, but it doesn't really affect to the look. And it looks really nice with the skirt as well. I love the color. I think this blue is really nice. So this has been the project for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. But I leave you some links if you want to stick around of the other t-shirt I did and some other interesting videos that you might like.